Just when you thought Pixar couldn't possibly make another great Toy Story movie, they have. Here's my drive time review of Toy Story 4. Woody and Buzz Lightyear and the rest of the gang are back in Toy Story 4, and it was worth the wait. It's been 10 years since the last Toy Story movie, and just when you think there's no way they could deliver a great movie, they have. I mean, this movie was so heartfelt, like most Pixar movies, but we're talking 4 movies in. I mean, who thought that every single movie could be a good one? I'm going to go ahead and compare this one to the original because it's a refreshing take. They have it in a different setting. They take it out of the bedroom. And so we have a lot of action in the new location. So that's what made it refreshing. So here's the story. Woody and Buzz are back in Toy Story 4, and the gang has a new owner, a little girl named Bonnie. So Bonnie loves her toys, but there's some that she plays with the most. So sometimes they're neglected, and sometimes they stay in the closet. That's sad. That's where she stores her toys. So some of them have to come up with a new purpose in life if they won't have a kid to be played with, which is kind of sad. But that's actually setting up what's to come. And then comes Forky. He's a spork created out of material from the trash can by Bonnie at school. And the whole shtick with that is he just came into existence, so he doesn't know what exactly he is. So he keeps jumping back in the trash can. And Woody has to stop him. And because if Bonnie ever lost Forky, she would be devastated. And that's the last thing Woody wants. How sweet of Woody, right? The family decides to take a trip in an RV, and all the toys come along. But on the trip, Forky decides he wants to be set free. So he flies out the window. And of course, Woody goes after him to try to bring him back so that Bonnie isn't devastated when she finds her new toy missing. Pixar, once again, sure knows how to pull your heartstrings. We're introduced to these toys who are called the Lost Toys because they have no owner. And some of them actually have never felt the love of a child because they came out of the box defective. So they were given away right away or discarded. So that element is just very sad. We can all relate to that. We're not toys, but we can always relate to not having the love of somebody or whatever the case may be. I'm not talking personally. I'm glad Pixar takes their time with the Toy Story. It's been 10 years since the last outing. And, you can tell they take their time. The humor is spot on. It's hilarious. The whole audience was erupting in laughter when I watched it at El Capitan in Los Angeles. And the laughter lasted throughout the whole movie. It was just a good-natured film. Pixar always pulls at your heartstrings, so there's plenty of those moments here, especially when it comes to those lost toys who some of them have never felt the love of a child because they came out of the box defective, so they were discarded right away. And even though they're toys, you can feel their emotion, and you just feel so sad for them, and you're like, oh, that's so heartbreaking. But, Pixar, that's their thing. They sure know how to get to us. And Toy Story 4 is no different. I would highly recommend this movie to everybody. Even if you don't have kids, go see this movie. It just hits you in the heart. And that's what movies are for, right? It's to bring out all these emotions in you. Some people cried at the end. There's a shocking twist at the end. And you wonder where Pixar's going to go next with this. And I can't say more because I'll give it away. But yeah, I don't think this is the last Toy Story adventure. But now they have, how should I say, different ways they can refresh it. So it'll be interesting to see in 10 years or so what this new direction is going to be. And so be prepared. My 14-year-old niece was about to cry. It's not sad, but, well, it is sad, but not in the way, there's no death. But it is going to be a shock for a lot of people. So be prepared. And speaking of lost and neglected toys, I'm going to go home and apologize to BB-8. I have not played with him for years, and he hasn't been recharged. So I'm sorry, BB-8. I'm coming home.